All right, today we are diving deep into one of the most critical yet almost completely invisible pieces of technology in our modern world. Seriously, they're in everything that spins, turns, or rolls. We're talking about bearings.
Think about that for a second. How can two things so wildly different, one weighing tons and stretching into the sky, the other fitting in the palm of your hand, rely on the exact same fundamental principle to move without just grinding to a halt? Well, the answer is a really elegant solution to a universal problem.
And that problem, that enemy, is friction. It's the force that robs motion of its energy, generates waste heat, and just wears parts down until they completely fail. Every single engineer, whether they're designing a skyscraper-sized crane or a tiny, high-speed dental drill, is fighting a constant battle against friction.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the enemy, friction. Then we'll introduce the hero of our story, the bearing. After that, we'll explore its two main strategies for winning the fight. We'll look at how there's a different bearing for every job. And finally, we'll tie it all together to see why this matters so much. Okay, so if friction is the villain, then the bearing is, without a doubt, the hero. It's a pretty simple concept, really, but one that has a profoundly powerful impact on just about everything that moves. Now, that's the textbook definition, and it sounds simple, right? A bearing basically does two main things. First, it holds a spinning part, what we call a shaft, firmly in place. And second, it makes that spinning action incredibly smooth by fighting friction. And that simple job unpacks into all of this. By conquering friction, bearings can support massive weights and forces, which are called loads. They prevent parts from wobbling out of alignment, and they drastically cut down on wasted energy and heat. All of this means our machines are not only way more efficient, but they also last much longer. So the big question is, how do they actually do it? Well, it turns out there are two main ways bearings beat friction, and it all comes down to how the moving surfaces touch each other, or how they don't touch each other. Let's take a look. Here we go, the two core philosophies. On one side, you have sliding bearings. Think of these like a puck on an air hockey table. The surfaces are gliding past each other, usually on a super thin film of oil. On the other side, you have rolling bearings. These are totally different. They introduce tiny balls or rollers between the surfaces, changing the physics from sliding to rolling. Think of a skateboard wheel. One is built for pure strength, the other is built for pure speed. Let's zoom in on that first family, the sliding type. People often just call them plain bearings. They're basically just a super smooth sleeve that a shaft spins inside of. Their design is simple and tough as nails. That's exactly why you find them at the heart of enormous machinery, like the turbines in power plants or the massive pumps in oil pipelines, where the loads are absolutely gigantic and the speeds are relatively low. Now, let's explore the other, much bigger family, rolling contact bearings. This is where the engineering gets really diverse and, honestly, pretty cool. And first up, we have the undisputed champions of speed, ball bearings. The magic here is geometry. A perfect sphere only makes a tiny point of contact with a flat surface. Less contact means way less friction, and that allows for incredibly fast and efficient spinning. It's why they are perfect for the millions and millions of electric motors, computer fans, and all sorts of household appliances we rely on every single day. Okay, but what happens when you need to handle a much heavier load? That's when you call in the power lifters. Roller bearings swap out those little balls for tiny cylinders, tapers, or even things called needles. Now, this is a genius move because it creates a line of contact instead of a point that spreads the load out over a much bigger area. And that's precisely why your car's wheels, which have to support the entire weight of the vehicle, use super strong tapered roller bearings. Now, we've been using this word loads a lot, so let's make sure we're totally clear on this. It's a really key concept. A radial load is a force that pushes on the side of the shaft, perpendicular to it. Imagine a car's weight pressing down on its axle. An axial load, which is also called thrust, is a force pushing along the length of the shaft. The best analogy is your weight pressing straight down on a spinning bar stool. Different bearings are engineered specifically for one, the other, or sometimes a combination of both. So we've covered the types, we've covered the forces they fight. Now let's zoom out and connect all the dots to see why this is so important in the grand scheme of things. This little table is basically the perfect cheat sheet for everything we just talked about. If the job demands high speed with pretty light loads, like a drone's motor, you're going to choose a ball bearing. If you need to support an immense weight, like in a giant construction crane's gearbox, a roller bearing is the only way to go. For a force that pushes straight down a vertical shaft, you need a specialized thrust bearing. And for those huge, tough, low-speed jobs, the simple, rugged plain bearing is still the king.
And you know what? The innovation just doesn't stop there. For the most extreme applications, like inside a satellite's gyroscope or a super high-precision MRI machine, engineers have created bearings that don't even physically touch. It's wild. They use powerful magnetic fields, or a cushion of air, or even super hard ceramics to get motion that is, for all practical purposes, frictionless.
You know, after all that complexity, after all that amazing engineering, it really does all come back to this one simple, powerful mission. This sentence right here captures the core purpose of every bearing ever made, from the tiniest one in a delicate watch to the house-sized ones in a tunnel boring machine. Help parts move smoothly, carry a load, and prevent wear. That's the whole game.
The bottom line is, our world is quite literally spinning on these tiny hidden components. So I'll leave you with a final thought. Just take a look around the room you're in right now. A ceiling fan, the cooling system in your computer, maybe the swivel chair you're sitting in. What else is moving, silently and smoothly? All thanks to this unseen engine we just explored. Thanks for joining me.